Welcome back to the Detox Podcast, your guide to a life of positivity and personal growth. I am your host, Joshua Hobbs, and I'm so thrilled to have you here for another uplifting episode. Get ready to let go of negativity and embark on a transformational journey towards a positive mindset. In today's episode titled Embracing the Journey of Life, we explore the profound aspects that shape our life's journey. Life is a magnificent adventure filled with endless possibilities, and by embracing its ups and downs, we unlock the potential for personal transformation and fulfillment. With my experience and my passion for helping individuals just like you, I'm here to provide valuable insight and practical tools that will empower you to navigate life's twists and turns with grace and resilience. So are you ready to detoxify your mind, unlock your potential, and create a life filled with purpose? In this episode, we're going to discuss embracing change, finding meaning in moments, living authentically, and cultivating a positive mindset that propels you towards personal fulfillment. But first, I want you to ask yourself, are you ready to embrace the journey of life and discover the joy that comes from navigating its beautiful complexities? If your answer is yes, then this episode is tailor-made just for you. Let's get ready to embark on a transformative adventure that will empower you to live your best life. But before we dive in, I want to share a scripture that ties into this episode. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Proverbs 3:5-6. Now, are you ready? I know I am. I'm excited about this because it's something that I'm going through. Here are 3 essential aspects we'll be focusing on in this episode: embracing change, finding meaning in moments, and living authentically. Embracing change. Life is a constant flow of change, and by embracing it rather than resisting it, we actually open ourselves up to incredible growth and new opportunities. It's important to have a good outlook when accepting change, letting go of the need for control, and cultivating a mindset that embraces the beauty of how temporary life is. I know change is difficult. We are wired to love that structure. We are wired to know what happens next. If we look at a map and we look at a Google map, we'd like to know, like the other weekend, I drove to San Diego and I like to know which exit am I getting off of? How many miles until that exit? I like to know if there's going to be traffic up ahead so that I can prepare myself mentally for that. But change in a deeper sense can be extremely difficult for a lot of us. Change happens when you might lose a parent, when you might lose a child. Change happens when you might get let go from work. Change happens when your relationship fails. And now you're stuck and you're like, I'm so used to having this person. I'm so used to going to work and clocking in and doing this job. And now this change has totally screwed up my life. Change is difficult. I will never say that change is not difficult. When we learn to embrace that change with a positive mindset, it helps our entire trajectory. Creating this podcast was something that was a change for me. Even going from just the audio that I was doing on Spotify to now doing these videos on YouTube was a change for me. And it was a change that honestly, I was a little scared of. What was I going to sound like? How was I going to present myself? How can I convey all of my thoughts? It was change in the direction of my life and the dream that God put in my heart. And I had to embrace that change. I had to do some research. I had to look at the opportunity of that change and see how I could view it in a positive manner. What I found out was through my career, it was setting me up for public speaking. It was setting me up to present myself and articulate in certain ways that people can relate to. And as I continue this podcast, there are things that I continue to grow from. There are intros that I might have to change. There's outros I might have to change. The context and the body of the episodes are going to change as we develop and we continue. But I embrace those changes. Even though they're hard changes, I embrace those changes and I want to get better. So to wrap this up, I want you to look at change regardless of what it is and look at the silver lining to understand how and what can I take out of this change to embrace and be positive about this change. Your schedule might change. I know mine did. When I was in the middle of college, I was working the schedule that worked really, really well. They changed it on me, and I've actually had to drop a class, and I was angry at first. But when I embraced the change, I was able to maneuver my schedule to work even better for me. And that was a blessing for me, right? And change is not always fun. Change is not always comfortable. But when we embrace it with a positive mindset, when we embrace it and see if we can try to flip whatever negative that we're getting out of this, however this changes our outlook or our perspective, if we can flip that and change it to a positive on our perspective, it actually helps us realize the benefits and gifts that we actually do hold. That leads me into finding meaning in moments. Life's journey is made up of countless moments, and finding meaning in each one can enrich our overall experience. Being mindful, it actually helps us stay present and fully engaged with the present moment. By appreciating the small joys, finding gratitude in everyday experiences, and seeking purpose in each step, we can infuse our journey with deep meaning and fulfillment. When we embrace change, it allows us to find the meaning in the moments. It allows you to zoom out 30,000 foot view and look at these moments and appreciate the small moments, to appreciate your health, to appreciate the opportunities that have been presented to you. We live in such a fast-paced world. We're always running. We're always busy. We're always doing something. And it's moment after moment after moment after moment that we tend to neglect. And we don't realize how important these moments are. How important it is to take time away and appreciate the moments. Appreciate the moments with your kids. Appreciate the moments with your relationship. Appreciate your health. Because as we zoom out and we look at everyone, it could be a lot worse. When we zoom out and we look at where were we 5 years ago? How difficult was 5 years ago? What were the challenges and the struggles and the financial issues that we were dealing with 5 years ago? When we truly zoom out and look at every single moment that we're going through, tough moments, easy moments, fun moments, and we look at those moments and we appreciate those moments, life tends to be a whole lot easier. This is something that I've had to personally do. I woke up this morning and I just went on a long walk. And on that walk, there was no music, there was nothing. I just wanted to appreciate the moment of being able to wake up healthy, knowing my son is safe, knowing that my bills are paid, knowing that I have a creator that loves me and gave me promises, knowing that through any battles or difficult moments that happen, I'm going to be okay. regardless of what that looks like, what that feels like internally, mentally, what that looks like, I'm going to be okay. I wanted to step back and appreciate those moments. And I went and grabbed a coffee. And before going home, there was this little plot of grass. And I just went and sat down for about an hour. I pondered on my life and the moments that led up to this moment of gratefulness, of thankfulness. And I couldn't help but just smile because 5 years ago was a whole lot different. 1 year ago was a whole lot different. 2 years ago was a whole lot different. And appreciating these moments and hearing the sounds of the cars and seeing the sun up and there's no clouds in the sky and seeing people walking their dogs and seeing people playing with their kids. It's a beautiful moment. It took away anything that I was thinking about. It took away anything that I was ungrateful about. And it allowed me to appreciate the moment. And I was able to come home and I washed my truck, still looking and thinking about these moments. And I said, you know what? I appreciate this moment because I remember when I had a car that I didn't even know if it was going to make it to work. I remember going to work and it breaking down. Now I have a truck that is paid off. I have this vehicle that I can wash and look at and be proud of. It's the little moments that sometimes we take for granted. Today was a grateful day. Today was a day that I was able to look at moments. Today was a day where I felt like I needed to embrace the journey of life. Living authentically. Our journey becomes truly fulfilling when we live authentically, aligning our actions with our values and embracing our unique selves, self-discovery, honoring our passions and our talents, and nurturing our authentic voice. By embracing our true selves and expressing our individuality, we not only find joy and fulfillment, but we also inspire others to do the same. Living authentically is something that I struggled with. Living authentically to be who I truly am and not caring what anybody else thought, not caring what anybody else, how they looked at me or perceived me, was something that it was rough. It was rough to become who I am because the world tells us that we need to be something else. When we look at social media, it tells us that we need to be somebody else. We need to be like this guy. We need to be like this girl. We need to conform to the ways of the world. As a man, you don't need to be vulnerable. As a man, there are certain things that you have to do and you have to say, or otherwise you're not tough. You're not a man. These are the things that I had to set aside and say, I'm going to live authentically. I'm going to have to be who God designed me to be. And regardless of what it looks like, regardless of what these episodes do, I need to continue to follow my dream. Even when I feel like giving up, even when I feel like I might be too vulnerable with you guys, when I feel like I might be too vulnerable at work or with my friends, I have to continue to live authentically and truly be who I'm supposed to be. And that's something that during the moments of embracing change, during those small moments where I have to zoom out and look at life, it's a reminder that people need people to look up to. People need people that are going to authentically be themselves and be unapologetic for who God created them to be so that they can truly serve in the purpose that God created them to live in. Will you live authentically? Will you be who God created you to be? Because I'll tell you one thing, by embracing change, finding meaning in moments, living authentically, we can embark on a journey of self-discovery, growth, purpose. Each day becomes an opportunity to learn, evolve, create a life that aligns with our deepest desires and values. I hope you enjoyed this. I want to thank you so much for joining me today on the Detox Podcast. If you found this episode valuable, be sure to subscribe. Stay tuned for more transformational insight to help you embrace the beauty and the adventure of life's journey. Remember, you have the power to shape your thoughts and create a life filled with positivity and abundance. Until next time, stay resilient, stay optimistic, and stay tuned for another uplifting episode of the Detox Podcast. Peace!